Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Audra's pregnancy a genuine miracle or a manipulative scheme to keep Nate? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, might find that her pregnancy could mend her relationship with Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic. If Audra does share the news of her pregnancy at any time, will it be a genuine baby on the way, or is this just another act of desperation? Get updates on the latest news about the Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. What is this? Nate is already suspicious of Audra's tale. Nate is beginning to doubt Audra's real motives for severing her relationship with Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and for abandoning the Vibrante funding that once excited her. Audra has been attempting to present it as if it was her choice, despite the fact that it was Victor who dismissed her. In the August 18th episode of Y&R, Audra will irritate Nate by withholding the complete story. Nate will quickly realize that he is missing crucial information, but Audra will react defensively and snap at him for his relentless inquiries. Nevertheless, Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, will later approach Nate, ready to throw him some unexpected surprises. Nate should get updates about Victor's plot to break up Claire and Kyle. Nate needs to be informed about Audra's attempts to sabotage Claire and Kyle Abbott's, Michael Mealer, relationship. Since Audra failed to orchestrate a breakup, that's the actual reason her funding was withdrawn. What is this? It seems Claire will inform Nate about this, as well as Audra's choice to kiss him publicly. Audra is quite the manipulative troublemaker, so Claire might make that abundantly clear to Nate. Still, Nate will seek the truth directly from Audra, which will leave her cornered by the end of August 18th to 22nd. Audra may come clean, but Nate will be livid. Audra might decide to come clean and attempt to mend things, but Nate is likely to be furious about her actions and the subsequent deceit. This situation could potentially lead to the end of Audra and Nate's relationship, so what steps might Audra take to save it? Is it possible that Audra could eventually announce a pregnancy, leaving fans in suspense about its authenticity? She might assert that she became pregnant just before her trip to Nice. On the other hand, Audra and Nate could have had a passionate reunion upon her return, which might serve to distract him from his grief over Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers. Audra's pregnancy confession may come later. In that scenario, Audra's revelation about her pregnancy could be postponed. It wouldn't be the first instance of a couple attempting to make things work for the benefit of a child. What is this? Audra may leverage this as her opportunity to persuade Nate to give their relationship another shot, but there's a possibility it could all be a ruse. We wouldn't be surprised if Audra resorted to a fake pregnancy as a desperate measure to keep Nate by her side. She may have done it before with Noah Newman, formerly Rory Gibson. She might accidentally spill the news and then have to sort out the details later if it turns out there's no baby at all. Regardless of the situation, the Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that there's no limit to what Audra will do, so keep an eye out for any surprises she might bring. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Audra's pregnancy a genuine miracle or a manipulative scheme to keep Nate? The Young and the Restless is no stranger to shocking twists, manipulative schemes, and storylines that leave viewers questioning what's real and what's just another layer of deception in Genoa City. Right now, the latest bombshell centers on Audra Charles, a woman who has consistently proven that she will use every tool at her disposal to get what she wants. From business power plays to complicated romances, Audra has never shied away from using strategy as much as seduction. But with whispers and speculation swirling about her possible pregnancy, fans are left wondering whether this new development is a genuine miracle or just another manipulative scheme designed to secure her position with Nate Hastings. Audra's track record speaks volumes. Ever since she entered the canvas, she has been entangled in a whirlwind of ambition, determination, and calculated risks. Aligning herself with powerful figures has been her bread and butter, whether it was maneuvering through Newman Media or finding ways to stay indispensable to business titans like Victor Newman. Now, with her romantic life intertwined with Nate's, the timing of a pregnancy revelation feels suspicious to many. Could Audra really be expecting, or is she creating the perfect illusion to trap Nate into staying by her side? The possibility of Audra being pregnant raises significant questions about her motives. On one hand, motherhood could present a softer, more vulnerable side to a woman often portrayed as fiercely independent and sometimes cold. It could be the perfect opportunity for redemption, giving viewers a chance to see her evolve beyond the schemer role and into someone who truly values family. On the other hand, longtime fans of the show know that when someone like Audra makes a move, it's rarely without an ulterior motive. A pregnancy could easily be the perfect card to play if she feels Nate slipping away, especially considering his own history of conflicted loyalties and moral dilemmas. Nate Hastings is no stranger to complicated love triangles and manipulative relationships himself. Having been involved with Elena, Victoria, and now Audra, he often finds himself caught between passion and practicality. If Audra is indeed pregnant, Nate would likely feel a sense of obligation, even if doubts about her honesty remain. His past suggests that he struggles with walking away when responsibility is involved. This is precisely why a fabricated pregnancy could be the ultimate trap for Audra to ensure Nate doesn't stray. But if the pregnancy is legitimate, then Nate may be forced to reassess his entire future, both personally and professionally. From a dramatic standpoint, the pregnancy angle opens the door to explosive confrontations and messy entanglements. Imagine the ripple effects this revelation could cause in Genoa City. Victoria Newman, who has lingering feelings for Nate and is known for her protective streak, would undoubtedly have a strong reaction. She could either confront Audra directly or subtly attempt to undermine her, sparking a new rivalry. Elena, Nate's ex, could also find herself pulled back into the storyline, particularly if she questions Nate's decision-making or feels compelled to warn him about Audra's manipulative tendencies. This situation also puts Audra directly in Victor Newman's orbit, as the patriarch has a vested interest in controlling the people around his daughter and protecting Newman Enterprises from potential scandal. If the pregnancy is real, it would drastically shift Audra's trajectory on the show. She would be forced to consider more than her own ambitions, potentially giving her storyline a richer emotional layer. But if it's a scheme, the fallout would be even juicier. Imagine Nate discovering that Audra faked an entire pregnancy to keep him tied to her. The betrayal would be devastating, not just for Nate but for everyone around them. It could even lead to Audra's eventual downfall if her lies are exposed, as Genoa City has little patience for long-term deception when it comes to matters of family and love. The soap genre thrives on the tension between truth and lies, and Audra's possible pregnancy embodies that perfectly. Fans will be glued to their screens, analyzing every clue, every gesture, and every piece of dialogue to determine whether this is the start of a redemptive journey or the continuation of a calculated con. Audra herself may even blur the lines, showing moments of genuine emotion while still keeping her cards close to her chest. That ambiguity is what makes her such a compelling character, and why this storyline has the potential to dominate Y&R discussions for months to come. The miracle or manipulation debate also touches on deeper themes within The Young and the Restless. Parenthood, legacy, and responsibility are recurring motifs throughout the show's long history. From Victor's endless efforts to control his children's lives to Nikki's protective instincts, from Phyllis's complicated relationships with her kids to Sharon's journey through motherhood, the show has consistently portrayed the highs and lows of raising children in a world full of secrets. If Audra truly is pregnant, it places her within that legacy, giving her character a stake in something far bigger than boardroom battles or romantic power plays. If she's not, then she joins a long list of characters who have weaponized the idea of family for personal gain. Viewers can also expect this storyline to test Nate in unprecedented ways. For all his intelligence and medical expertise, Nate has been known to fall prey to emotional manipulation. His desire to do the right thing often clashes with his pursuit of passion, leaving him vulnerable to women like Audra who know how to push the right buttons. This potential pregnancy could expose the cracks in his armor once again, forcing him to confront not only his feelings for Audra but also the person he truly wants to be. Will he continue down a path of compromise, or will he finally stand up and make choices that align with his values, even if it means walking away? The outcome of this storyline may depend heavily on how the writers choose to frame Audra's intentions. If they want to humanize her, they'll lean into the miracle angle, showing her struggle to balance ambition with impending motherhood. If they want to cement her status as a schemer, then the manipulative scheme will ultimately unravel in spectacular fashion. Either way, the drama is guaranteed to keep fans guessing, debating, and tuning in for more. What makes this plot particularly enticing is its potential to intertwine with multiple ongoing storylines. Victor's schemes, Victoria's romantic entanglements, Elena's lingering feelings, and even Adam Newman's tendency to meddle could all converge around Audra's big reveal. The pregnancy storyline could also open the door for unexpected alliances, as enemies unite to uncover the truth or protect loved ones from being ensnared in Audra's web. This kind of interconnected drama is exactly what has kept the young and the restless at the top of the soap opera world for decades. In the end, whether Audra's pregnancy is a miracle or a manipulative scheme, one thing is clear: it's a game changer. It has the power to redefine relationships, shift loyalties, and expose truths that have been hidden beneath the surface. For fans, it's the kind of juicy, layered drama that reminds them why they tune in day after day, year after year. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on the unpredictability of human behavior, and Audra Charles may just be the latest character to prove that in Genoa City, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. A baby could change everything, or it could be the biggest lie she's ever told. Either way, the fallout will be explosive, and fans wouldn't want it any other way. The Young and the Restless spoilers: Nate is already suspicious of Audra's tale. The Young and the Restless has never been short on drama, deception, and double-dealing, but few characters embody the fine line between ambition and manipulation quite like Audra Charles. She's sleek, confident, calculating, and always looking for the next opportunity to climb higher in Genoa City's ruthless power ladder. But the latest developments may finally push her elaborate scheming to the breaking point, because it looks like Nate Hastings is already suspicious of her newest tale, and that suspicion could be the thread that unravels everything Audra has worked so hard to build. From the very beginning of their relationship, Nate and Audra have thrived on chemistry and shared ambition. Both are intelligent, career-driven individuals who understand the cost of power and aren't afraid to take risks to get what they want. But there's always been a question mark hovering over their bond. Is it genuine affection, or is it merely a convenient alliance between two people who know how to use each other? This question becomes even more relevant as Audra spins her latest tale, a claim that could alter the course of Nate's life forever. Audra's story, depending on how viewers interpret it, could either be seen as a cry for connection or as her most manipulative move yet. Whether it's her supposed pregnancy, a fabricated betrayal, or a manufactured crisis, Nate has begun to notice inconsistencies in her behavior that don't add up. The very thing that makes Nate attractive to Audra, his intelligence and ability to read people, may now be the obstacle she never saw coming. And if Nate's instincts prove right, Audra may find herself exposed before she can solidify her grip on him. Nate has a complicated history when it comes to relationships. His entanglements with Elena Dawson, Victoria Newman, and now Audra have left him with scars, regrets, and an uneasy awareness of how easily passion can cloud judgment. He has been manipulated before, and that experience has sharpened his instincts. Where once he might have blindly trusted Audra's words, now he's asking questions, paying closer attention, and wondering if the woman he's with is truly being honest, or if she's just playing another long game. Suspicion is a powerful storytelling device, and Y&R has used it to great effect throughout its decades on air. Nate's doubts about Audra's tale could lead him down a path of quiet investigation, secret conversations, and subtle testing of her story. Maybe he notices her avoiding certain details, or perhaps he catches her in a small lie that contradicts her larger narrative. The cracks in her story don't have to be dramatic to set off alarm bells. Sometimes it's the smallest inconsistencies that reveal the biggest truths. For Audra, being under Nate's microscope could be disastrous. She thrives when she's in control, steering the conversation and dictating the narrative. If Nate is pulling back, questioning her motives, or seeking outside confirmation of her claims, Audra may find herself cornered in a way she hasn't been before. Her reaction to his suspicion will say everything. Will she double down, weaving an even more elaborate tale, or will she attempt vulnerability, hoping to convince Nate that her truth is real by appealing to his emotions? Of course, Nate isn't the only one who could be affected by Audra's story. If her claim involves a pregnancy, the fallout touches nearly every corner of Genoa City. Victor Newman, with his endless need to control and protect his empire, will have plenty to say if Audra's involvement with Nate destabilizes Newman Enterprises. Victoria Newman, who still has unresolved feelings for Nate, could become jealous, skeptical, or even determined to expose Audra if she believes the claim is false. Elena could return to the picture, reminding Nate of his past mistakes and urging him not to repeat them. And even Adam Newman, who has his own history of manipulating situations to his advantage, might see Audra's scheme as an opportunity to create chaos for Victor and Victoria. The more Nate pulls at the threads of Audra's tale, the more dramatic the unraveling becomes. Imagine the explosive reveal if he uncovers definitive proof that she fabricated the entire story. The betrayal would devastate him, not just romantically, but professionally and personally. Nate prides himself on his integrity, even when he's made questionable choices, and realizing he's been played could reignite his desire to break free from manipulative relationships once and for all. At the same time, it could push Audra into dangerous territory. Exposed schemers in Genoa City rarely go quietly, and Audra could retaliate in ways that shock everyone. But what if Audra's story is true? What if Nate's suspicions are misplaced, and his doubt only serves to damage their relationship? In that case, the writers could spin a dramatic arc around trust, loyalty, and the consequences of letting past experiences dictate present behavior. Nate's skepticism could lead Audra to prove herself in unexpected ways, revealing layers of vulnerability that fans haven't seen from her before. This scenario could even position Audra for redemption, transforming her from schemer to sympathetic heroine as she navigates the challenges of being doubted by the man she loves. The uncertainty surrounding Audra's tale makes this storyline so compelling. It isn't just about whether she's telling the truth or lying, it's about what those possibilities mean for her character, for Nate, and for the entire web of relationships tied to them. Every move she makes, every slip of the tongue, every reaction to Nate's suspicion adds another layer of intrigue. And with each passing episode, fans are left to wonder, is Nate uncovering a manipulative scheme, or is he letting his fear of being burned again cloud his judgment? From a thematic standpoint, this story highlights one of Y&R's most enduring themes, trust. Trust between partners, trust between families, trust in oneself. For Nate, learning to trust his instincts without letting paranoia control him is a journey in itself. For Audra, earning trust, or faking it convincingly, has always been her greatest weapon. The collision of these themes promises fireworks that will resonate far beyond their individual storyline. Fans are already buzzing with speculation online. Some are convinced Audra is lying, pointing to her history of deception and ambition. Others argue that the show may be setting up a surprise twist, where Audra's truthfulness shocks everyone and forces Nate to reckon with his own mistrust. Either way, the debate is proof that this storyline has captured the audience's imagination, sparking discussions about motives, morality, and the blurred line between survival and manipulation. The beauty of The Young and the Restless is that no storyline exists in isolation. Whatever happens between Nate and Audra will ripple outward, affecting the Newmans, the Abbotts, and even characters who have yet to enter the fray. A false pregnancy claim, if that's what her tale involves, could put Audra on Victor's blacklist permanently. A real pregnancy could tie her to the Newman family for life, whether they like it or not. A fabricated betrayal could sever her connection with Nate but open the door to an unlikely alliance with someone else. The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this arc so captivating. At its core, this storyline is about two brilliant, ambitious people testing the limits of each other's trust. Nate's suspicion could be his salvation, or his downfall. Audra's tale could be her ultimate victory, or her undoing. In Genoa City, nothing is ever straightforward, and every revelation only leads to more questions. For now, the tension simmers. Nate watches closely, Audra plays her part, and the audience hangs on every interaction, waiting for the truth to finally break free. Whether it comes in the form of shocking proof, an emotional confession, or a dramatic showdown, one thing is certain: Nate's suspicion has set the stage for one of the most explosive storylines Y&R has delivered in years. The Young and the Restless spoilers: Audra may come clean, but Nate will be livid. The Young and the Restless thrives on deception, secrets, and the inevitable moment when those carefully crafted lies begin to collapse. For months now, Audra Charles has played the role of the schemer, the ambitious woman who isn't afraid to blur moral lines in pursuit of power and love. But the weight of her latest tale may finally be too much for her to carry. Rumors and speculation suggest that Audra may eventually come clean about the truth, but when she does, Nate Hastings won't be relieved by her honesty. Instead, he'll be furious, betrayed, and possibly ready to cut ties forever. Audra has built her entire presence in Genoa City on strategy. Whether she's maneuvering through corporate battles at Newman Media, aligning herself with powerful allies like Victor and Tucker, or using romance to secure her position, she always seems 2 steps ahead. Yet Nate Hastings is not a man easily fooled, and his suspicion has already started to chip away at the facade Audra has carefully constructed. The danger for Audra isn't just that Nate might catch her in a lie, it's that she might feel compelled to confess before he has the chance to expose her. The potential for Audra to come clean adds an intriguing twist to this already high-stakes storyline. Confessions in soap operas are never straightforward acts of redemption, they are dramatic explosions that shatter relationships, ignite rivalries, and spark new battles. If Audra admits that her tale, whether it involves a pregnancy, betrayal, or another carefully designed fabrication, wasn't the truth, Nate won't see it as courage. He'll see it as manipulation, a cruel attempt to tether him to her under false pretenses. His anger won't just come from the lie itself but from the insult to his intelligence, the wasted trust, and the realization that once again he has allowed himself to be played by a woman who knew how to exploit his weaknesses. Nate's fury is a key ingredient here, because it marks an important shift in his character. For too long, Nate has been reactive, often allowing himself to get pulled into messy love triangles and manipulative situations. From his affair with Victoria to his betrayal of Elena, Nate has struggled to take control of his personal life in the same way he does with his professional career. But Audra's confession could be the breaking point, the moment when he decides that he will no longer allow deception to rule his relationships. His livid reaction may not just be anger at Audra, it could become the catalyst for a new chapter in his story, one where he reclaims his independence and redefines his boundaries. For Audra, coming clean could represent both her greatest risk and her only hope. She knows she cannot keep up a lie forever. Nate's sharp instincts, coupled with the prying eyes of Genoa City's most powerful players, make deception a temporary shield at best. If she admits the truth, she might hope to salvage her connection to Nate by appealing to his compassion. After all, Nate is a doctor with a healer's heart, he has a soft spot for vulnerability and honesty, even when it comes too late. But the problem for Audra is that this time, Nate may not be able to forgive. The very act of lying about something so serious may cross a line from which there is no return. The fallout from Audra's confession will not remain contained between the two of them. Soap operas thrive on ripple effects, and this one has the potential to crash over nearly every major character in Genoa City. Victor Newman, for example, will certainly take note of Audra's behavior. If her deception in any way threatened Newman Enterprises or his daughter Victoria's personal life, Victor will ensure that she pays the price. Victoria herself may feel vindicated if Nate walks away from Audra in anger. After all, Victoria has always believed Audra to be dangerous competition both in business and in love. Elena Dawson, Nate's ex, could also re-enter the conversation, pointing out that she warned Nate about Audra's manipulative ways long before he chose to ignore her advice. The drama could escalate further if Nate's anger transforms into public exposure. Imagine Nate standing in the Newman boardroom, laying bare Audra's deception for all to hear. Such a move would not only destroy her credibility but also isolate her from the allies she has carefully cultivated. In a city where reputation is everything, this kind of exposure could ruin Audra's chances of climbing higher in business or personal relationships. Yet, knowing Audra, she wouldn't go down without a fight. A livid Nate might get the satisfaction of revealing her truth, but Audra could quickly pivot, spinning the narrative to make herself a victim of circumstance or even lashing out at Nate with secrets of her own. The complexity of this storyline lies in the question of whether Audra's confession will be genuine or another calculated move. Will she truly admit everything, or will her coming clean only be partial, revealing just enough to satisfy Nate while still hiding critical details? If she chooses the latter, the cycle of deception could continue, ensuring even more explosive drama in the future. Nate's rage might be justified, but his desire for closure could leave him vulnerable to being pulled right back into her orbit. On a thematic level, Audra's potential confession highlights one of the Young and the Restless' most enduring narratives, the price of ambition. Characters who climb too quickly or cut corners often face devastating consequences, and Audra may be the next in a long line of schemers whose lies implode spectacularly. But the question remains, will this moment of truth mark the end of her influence, or will it simply serve as another pivot point, allowing her to reinvent herself once again? For Nate, this storyline is about more than just anger. It's about self-respect, growth, and the painful lessons of love. If he reacts with rage but then chooses to walk away, it could signify a long-overdue evolution in his character arc. If he allows himself to be drawn back into Audra's web, it may prove that he has not yet learned from his mistakes. Either outcome offers rich dramatic potential, and fans are eager to see which direction the writers will take. What's certain is that the confrontation between Nate and Audra will be explosive. Audra's decision to come clean, whether by choice or because she's caught, will detonate like a bomb, shattering the fragile trust they've built and leaving both characters forever changed. For viewers, this is exactly the kind of high-stakes, emotionally charged drama that makes The Young and the Restless so addictive. Lies may fuel the fire, but it's the moment of truth that delivers the real explosion. In Genoa City, honesty isn't always the best policy, but when Audra decides to confess, she may discover that the truth hurts more than the lie ever did. And Nate, consumed by fury and betrayal, will make sure she feels the full weight of his anger. Their story is far from over, but this confrontation may be the beginning of the end for Audra's carefully crafted schemes. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Audra's pregnancy confession may come later. The Young and the Restless has built its reputation on jaw-dropping twists, hidden agendas, and shocking confessions that never come when fans expect them. Right now, all eyes are on Audra Charles, a character who has built her empire in Genoa City by blending ruthless ambition with undeniable charm. She's a woman who knows how to weaponize timing, carefully choosing when to reveal her secrets and when to withhold them for maximum impact. With whispers swirling about her possible pregnancy, speculation has reached a fever pitch. Is Audra truly expecting, or is she spinning a tale? And if the rumors are true, when will she decide to confess, and how devastating will the fallout be when she does? Audra has never been one to play her cards too early. She studies the board, waits for the right moment, and then makes her move with precision. If she is pregnant, she's unlikely to blurt it out in a moment of raw honesty. Instead, her confession may come later, after she's secured her footing with Nate Hastings, after she's gauged the reactions of powerful players like Victor and Victoria Newman, and after she's ensured that revealing the truth will give her the greatest advantage. Timing has always been her greatest weapon, and a delayed confession could be her most dangerous play yet. The very possibility of pregnancy raises complex questions about Audra's character. Fans are divided. Some believe motherhood could soften her edges and give her a chance at redemption, while others suspect she would use it as just another tool in her arsenal to manipulate those around her. If she withholds the truth for too long, however, Nate's eventual discovery could ignite a firestorm. Already suspicious of Audra's intentions, Nate may interpret a delayed confession not as vulnerability but as proof of calculated deceit. And when Nate feels cornered or betrayed, his anger can be volcanic. A delayed pregnancy confession also leaves space for other storylines to collide. Imagine the ripple effects in Genoa City if Audra keeps the truth to herself while juggling her role in Newman Media. Victor Newman's sharp instincts would likely lead him to suspect something long before Audra makes her confession. If Victor believes Audra is manipulating Nate or his daughter Victoria, he won't hesitate to step in. Victoria herself, who still harbors feelings for Nate, could become jealous, skeptical, or determined to pry the truth out of Audra before she's ready. The longer Audra waits, the more ammunition her rivals will have to use against her when the confession finally explodes. Soap opera confessions are rarely about the truth alone, they're about the fallout. If Audra admits later that she is indeed pregnant, the confession may not be the joyous reveal of new life, but rather the spark that sets off rivalries, betrayals, and even corporate warfare. Nate could feel trapped between responsibility and resentment, torn between stepping up for the child and resenting the circumstances that led to the pregnancy. Victoria could lash out, seeing the baby as a permanent wedge keeping her from Nate. Elena Dawson, Nate's ex, could return to remind him that she warned him about Audra's manipulative nature. And Adam Newman could see the entire situation as an opportunity to destabilize Newman Enterprises even further. But what if the confession isn't rooted in truth at all? What if Audra isn't pregnant and is simply weaving a lie she hopes will keep Nate by her side? In that case, the confession would be even more explosive when the truth comes out. Nate, already cautious, would feel betrayed on the deepest level, furious that Audra would play with something so life-changing. The fallout could not only destroy their relationship but also damage Audra's reputation beyond repair. Victor would blacklist her, Victoria would humiliate her, and Nate might make it his mission to expose her to everyone in Genoa City. The timing of the confession would matter less than the fact that the entire story was fabricated, and the damage could be permanent. If the confession is delayed, it also raises questions about Audra's endgame. Why wait? Is she hoping Nate will commit himself more fully to her before she reveals the truth? Is she waiting for the right moment to leverage her pregnancy against the Newmans in a power struggle? Or is she simply afraid that once she admits the truth, her carefully controlled life will spiral into chaos? These are the kinds of questions that make her storyline so fascinating. Audra is a character who thrives in control, and a pregnancy, real or not, would be one of the few things capable of truly destabilizing her. Nate's role in all of this cannot be understated. He has been burned before, manipulated by women he trusted, and he knows how devastating lies can be. If Audra's confession comes later, when the truth can no longer be denied, Nate may see it as the ultimate betrayal. He could lash out, severing ties with her completely, or he could stay out of duty but with deep resentment. Either choice would reshape his character arc, forcing him to confront whether he values love, loyalty, or his own independence more. Nate's reaction could also determine how the rest of Genoa City responds, because once he's livid, others will choose sides. The beauty of a delayed confession lies in its dramatic potential. The longer Audra waits, the bigger the explosion when the truth finally surfaces. Confessing early might give her a chance at forgiveness, but confessing later ensures maximum drama, exactly the kind of fireworks that keep Y&R fans glued to their screens. Whether she's revealing the truth about a real pregnancy or admitting to a manufactured lie, the timing of her confession could make or break her storyline. Fans should also prepare for the possibility that Audra may not confess of her own accord at all. Instead, her hand could be forced, perhaps by a medical emergency, a suspicious Nate digging deeper, or Victor orchestrating a scheme to expose her. If that's the case, Audra's attempt to delay her confession would only make her look worse, as though she intended to lie indefinitely until she had no choice but to admit the truth. Such a scenario would maximize Nate's fury and minimize any chance of reconciliation, painting Audra into a corner with no easy escape. The thematic core of this storyline comes down to power, trust, and timing. Audra has always wielded power through secrecy, Nate values trust but has struggled to protect it, and timing is the one factor neither can fully control. A pregnancy confession, delayed, fabricated, or forced, touches on all three, ensuring that the fallout will be seismic no matter how it unfolds. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on these kinds of storylines. From paternity bombshells to long-buried secrets, the show knows how to keep fans hooked by stretching out confessions until the very moment when the truth becomes unavoidable. Audra's delayed confession would be no different, setting the stage for explosive confrontations, shocking revelations, and shifting alliances that ripple across Genoa City. One thing is certain, Audra's confession, whenever it comes, will change everything. It could destroy her bond with Nate, alter her standing at Newman Media, and pit her against some of Genoa City's most powerful players. Or it could reveal a new, vulnerable side of her character, offering fans a chance to see her in a different light. Either way, the timing of her confession is everything, and fans should brace themselves for a reveal that will shake Genoa City to its core.